You know what's an oddity these days? A woman without a tattoo on her body.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, the Beauty Myth. Learn the beauty secrets of the goddess next door in this action-packed Isis series adventure. Get Isis, the Beauty Myth at online booksellers everywhere today.
There was a time in America and the West when a tattooed woman was an oddity and not the standard. And over the last 30 years, we have seen tattooed women become the standard as related to Western society. And now a woman without tattoos is considered to be the oddity in Western society. And that makes women without tattoos on their body a person who can go out here and be considered higher up in the social marketplace because it shows that that woman basically has strong discipline and strong character. And it shows that they have strong discipline and strong character because they have not given into the peer pressure to try to get social acceptance by creating a mark on their body that would be used as an attachment to draw attention to themselves. Now, this whole trend of women going out here and getting tattoos, I believe, started in the late 1990s when we had movies like the Coyote Ugly movie and a lot of celebrities going out here putting tramp stamps on their bodies. And as women started putting these tramp stamps on their lower back near their buttocks, it was marketed as something socially acceptable for women to do, even though tattoos before the late 90s were considered something to be frowned upon as related to women because it was connotated as something women of the night wound up putting on their bodies as a mark to denote which pimp they worked for. However, Madison Avenue and Hollywood socially engineered the idea that tattoos were cool to both men and women, and over the last 30 years, women have basically gone out here getting tattoos on the regular in an effort to go out here and try to stand out as related to the social marketplace and in an effort to try to make themselves appear to be so-called cool. Unfortunately, as many of these women go out here thinking that this tattoo is telling a story about themselves, what it is telling a story that they are not unique anymore because the original idea that many women had was, oh, this tattoo will tell a story of how unique I am. But the critical question I have to ask, how unique are you if you're wearing somebody else's symbols on your body? That's a critical question I have to ask most of the women who wear tattoos on their body. How do you stand out in a social marketplace with other women if all of you are basically wearing symbols and marks from other people? How does that make you appear to be distinct? Because if all of you are out here having these marks on your body, then how do you stand out and show how special you actually are? Now, personally, I believe that if a woman goes out here and gets tattoos, what it is it shows that she, again, really does not have a lot of confidence and is looking to go out here and use this art as an attachment to get the attention of people and look to get the attention of people that, in a way, because they don't have the confidence to let their personality and their presence go out here and stand out for themselves. Because a person, the first thing we notice about them is their face and their eyes, and this is the first thing people recognize as related to a person. And when I've seen with most of the people who have tattoos is it just creates a distraction that keeps you from drawing your eyes up to that person's face and being able to form a connection with them as a person. That's my personal observation as related to tattoos, that they create a distraction that keeps you from seeing who they really are and being able to gauge that first assessment as related to their values and their character. And A lot of women, they thinking, oh, I'm going to get this tattoo. I'm going to be able to tell a story to a guy, and it's going to draw attention to me. But the whole thing is, it doesn't really tell a story that is compelling. No, it really just tells a story that you're just somebody who just is a follower and cannot go and follow the beat of a different drummer. Now you have a lot of people who say, oh, I'm doing this because I'm trying to show how edgy they are. But again, how edgy is it if everybody is doing it? How edgy are you if you're getting the same symbols that are as the same as everybody else? I mean, what's unique and distinct about a woman who has the same tattoos over her body that 4 other women have on their body? Another critical question I have to ask most of the women out here as related to tattoos, because I'm not seeing how you're coming across as unique or special. No, I'm not seeing how you're coming across as distinct, because what's really distinct is your personality and your presence, and you wind up getting distracted because the person's body is marked up. And again, at one time in this country, a tattoo was considered to be an oddity. It was considered to be an eccentricity that could open up a door for a conversation. But if everybody's got the tattoos, then how are you distinct and how are you original? Critical question I'm going to ask women with tattoos, because I just don't see how you're standing out if everybody's got ink. If everybody's got ink, how are you standing out? Because these days, the woman without the tattoos is an oddity, and that's basically, again, showing how she basically has strong character. It's showing how she has a discipline and a resolve, and it's showing how she's an attractive person because she has a strong moral position, and because she has a strong moral position, this basically shows a man that she could possibly be somebody he could consider to be a wife, because the Most High made a woman's body to be a temple of the Holy Spirit. And as I see it, putting a tattoo on a body is the same thing as going out here and desecrating a temple that the Most High has created. That's what I see as related to tattoos. And I'm just sitting there wondering, what many women, again, they're not really getting this lesson as related to taking care of their bodies, because I don't really see it as self-care to get a tattoo. I just see it as you marking your body. And it's the same thing as going out here and a guy getting a very expensive car and going out here putting decals and wings on it. It just takes away from the original beauty and elegance of that vehicle. That's what it takes away from, as I see it. I mean, this is my opinion as related to tattoos, because everywhere I go, I see women wearing all of these tattoos. And again, you can't seem to find one woman without a single mark on her body. And it's just quite troubling because, again, from what I hear from most men, they don't find women who wear tattoos to be attractive. And while a couple of simps out here will go out here and mac these women, many of those men won't think to marry that woman. No, they just see her as just another dime a dozen woman, but not a woman who has something special and unique. Now, I know that many women in the goth subculture these days wear tattoos, but I remember a time when women didn't wear them at all. And again, I look at the overall case, not just the goth subculture, but other other cultures in America. And again, we've got a large population of women with tattoos on their body. And I just wonder, where are the women who have no tattoos on their body? Because to me, if you have no marks on your body, that's a sign of self-love. It's a sign of pride in self. It's a sign of self-confidence, because you value yourself to the point where you see the worth of your own body, and you want to make sure that your body is the way God originally made it. You don't need to mark up your body or be influenced to mark up your body to get social currency with others by using a mark on your body as an attachment to draw attention to yourself. Because again, a confident woman can go out here and draw attention to herself by just being herself. a confident woman can go out here and draw attention by just being who she is, and it's her presence that will stand out, whether she's wearing dollar store clothes or designer clothes. That woman will stand out because her presence is strong and her confidence will radiate to others, attracting others to her. And again, that takes building up your self-esteem and your self-worth and learning how to love yourself, because as I see it, people who love themselves will not go out here and mark up their bodies with somebody else's symbols or somebody else's name. I mean, the one tattoo I find to be most annoying is when women get a boyfriend's name on their body, and then when the relationship breaks up, they find up with another man's name on their body, basically letting every other man know that this woman basically has the spirit and DNA of another man inside of her, and is basically marked herself as another man's property, and is not really somebody who again has the confidence to say they love themselves. Now, the other tattoos, again, I find troubling are the face tattoos, because those are ones that distract you from a person's face and prevent you from seeing who they are, but also denote possibly that this individual could be mentally ill. So when I look at the whole women with tattoos these days, I mean, there are so many of them, to the point where you don't really get to see a woman without tattoos, and they are now becoming the oddity, when originally getting a tattoo was originally considered an oddity for a woman, was considered to be frowned on as related to women by even other women. But these days, women have so many tattoos that you just look at them and go, it's just like a dime a dozen at this point. And it's rare that you find a woman with no tattoos on her body. And I just find it really sad, because, again, a lot of guys out here saying that they want to date women without tattoos, like myself. And many guys out here, that's the first thing that's a turnoff when they see another mark of somebody else on a woman's body. They know that they cannot go out here and connect with that woman because she's already been marked by somebody else, similar to the way the pimp used to mark his ladies of the evening back in the days of the 19th century. And many women never connect the dots as related to tattoos, and this is part of something I talk about in my book, The Woman Crisis. I talk all about how tattoos are a part of the woman crisis, because a woman with tattoos is a woman who possibly will be single, and she may wind up single for the rest of her life, because most men, when they see a woman with tattoos, they know that she's marked with not only that symbol, but she's also marked with the DNA of another man and the spirit of another man. And they know that at that point they can't get with that woman, because that woman is not going to be somebody that can bond with them. Moreover, it also symbolizes to some guys that she may have a demonic spirit in her. And I talk about this in The Woman Crisis. Again, it may symbolize a demonic spirit inside of that woman, and it may symbolize that this spirit is driving her to mark her body, because, again, a woman who is following the Most High who understands that her body is a temple of the Holy Spirit and wants to keep her body clean of these kinds of markings and symbols, because these are things that are not of God. And again, I think about what's going on these days, and I'm not seeing many women these days without tattoos. And again, I remember back in the 80s, I saw so many women with no tattoos, and in the early to mid 90s. But after this, I've just seen this explosion, and the tattoos become more and more, to the point where some women are looking like they are just marking their bodies up trying to get a full suit. And that's something that is quite troubling, because it's like the demonic spirit is driving them to go get these markings, not understanding these symbols are putting not only a mark on their body, but putting a scar on their soul. So I'm looking at this, and again, it's just really sad that we live in a day when a woman with no tattoos is the exception, and women with tattoos are the rule, and a man can't seem to find a woman who has a body that is as clean as their own. Now, if you want to learn more about why women go out here and get tattoos, you can pick up my book, The Woman Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Woman Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashworth, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, You can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s with this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes, 1987 at online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today.